Hey guys, it's Kim Ibring Jansen from kimibringjansen.com. Today we have a question from Trudy. Let me just grab the question. And this is Ask the Universe. So where people send me messages and ask me for me to ask the universe to get answers for what's going on in their life. So Trudy sends me a question, and the question is, why do we always have such a hard road? My family have struggled for years, and how do we change this? Okay, so literally, if I can explain what's coming through now for you, Trudy, and then anyone else who kind of has been through a hard road and is struggling with something in particular or a couple of things. Usually when I look at clients, when I'm working with clients and I look at these things that are going on in their lives, the thing that usually comes up when we're looking at everything that's happened is that there is a similar theme for each thing. So they might look different, the issues might look different, but at the end of the day, when we really look at what is really going on, I actually see that the thing that's actually happening to them, even if it's happening to you now, and then you've had other things happen in the past that seem unrelated, they are completely related. And I see that they are all connected by what I call a theme. Now, when we look at themes, these themes technically tell us that this is what, and this sounds weird, but this is what you've chosen as your life lesson. And you know what happens when we're a soul floating around the sky and we go and choose a life and a body for our next life to experience? We look at lives and bodies where we can either choose an experience that we want to have, or we've got a lesson that we're meant to learn, and so we come back as that person to learn those lessons and to not carry them on. The thing is that in a lot of cases, and not only in this life but in previous lives, we haven't released or learnt the lessons in past lives, and also in now, so many people are even passing away with their issues unresolved, and they just carry it on to their next life to then try and do it a different way. And that's why we're given this level of amnesia when we come back, is so we don't actually do the same thing each life. And I used to question it. I used to say, well, why each time we're reincarnated into a body, are we given this level of amnesia to stop us from remembering why we're here? Because it's almost like we're born and we've got this life with no textbook. We've got no way to understand like what we're meant to be doing. And this is where a lot of people will be contacting me, asking me, what is my life purpose? What am I meant to be doing here? Because I know I'm meant to be doing something, but I just don't know what. So we're given this amnesia, and I used to question, why are we given amnesia and then left blind on this planet to kind of find our way around? And back then, that was when I was working really closely with my guides, whereas more now I deal with the universe kind of thing. I was just told that this actually allows you to try something different. If you remembered what your life lesson was from a past life, you would, and you knew that it was part of your journey to get through this life lesson, you would just try the same way that you tried last life. And it's like they're trying to stop the pattern. And that's where you'll have the issues coming up in this life. And quite often, you'll find, and again, when we look at these themes, we'll see them reoccurring like time after time after time, whether they look the same or whether they look completely different. At the end of the day, I can usually pinpoint the one theme, sometimes maybe two themes, that will link all the issues that you've had over those years, which will tell me what your life lesson is. Then what we need to then do is we then say, okay, so this is what you wanted to either learn from in this life or you wanted to experience. So we look at then your soul contracts and we say, okay, so what is it that you've written in your soul contracts, and especially when you have agreements with other people in this life, finding out what everyone's role is in your life, but also what you have chosen for yourself. And you have a contract with yourself as to what you want to achieve, if you want to call it that. The thing is that in a lot of cases, the only way we can achieve what we want to achieve here is through adversity. And so looking at that life lesson, and we look at, okay, what are we needing to learn from it, or what are we meant to get from it? Once we find that out, then you can have a conscious awareness that that is the purpose of that adversity. Now, usually when we have that awareness and we can see that that is the reason for what we've gone through, it usually releases the energy around that, and we don't attract the same issues in the future. If for example, and I use a measurement system to see whether awareness is enough to release that, if there is some energy left in the body around that theme, that again, law of attraction will say that if there's something within us that we've held on to and kept from the past, we'll keep attracting the same issues, because it's the same energy that we're putting out, or that we're holding within. So this is where ideally we want to completely clear the body of any kind of connection to this past hurt, trauma, pain, whatever, so that you don't attract more of it in the future. So awareness is one way that you can clear that. And then the other ways is literally through energy work. So either it's any kind of tapping or EFT, or with a pendulum or whatever, to remove any leftover energy or pain or whatever from the past result. Now, then what you do, usually the subconscious then creates a connection or an association, or what we can call an anchor, to what that issue is, to any future issues. And that's where our subconscious is just like a video, and it records what's going on in our lives and then creates associations around that to then prepare our body for anything else in the future that might be similar. And then it gets those fight or flight reactions happening whenever anything is similar. So say, for example, someone drowned when they were younger, or nearly drowned when they were younger. When they're older, there'll be an association put into their mind, whether it's depending upon where they are, there'll be an association that the subconscious will create, that water equals drowning. And so that will stay with that person until that's actually cleared, that association there. So then checking in and making sure that the association and the anchor is completely gone from the subconscious. And if that isn't, what we do is we completely transmute what is in there in the memory, and create a memory that is exactly what we want, which is pretty much where I say we're creating our own reality. Because in this current moment, when we transmute and change a past memory, we're actually then changing how we feel in this current moment, and however we're feeling in this current moment can completely change a future reality. Well, all future realities, because we actually create future realities from this current moment right now. So Trudy, with stuff that's happened in the past, it's simply, and please know that even though some past stuff is really hurtful or painful or whatever, please know that you are not the victim in it, that you are an active player in this role. And the way that you can move through it is by regaining that energy, or that empowerment that you have inside, to know that you can do something about it. Once you do that, it actually reduces the intensity quite a bit. And really, that is one of the main ways that you can deal with something that's from the past. If you decide, and it sounds like I know life is hard for some people, and people go through really tough things, but if we stay in being the victim and don't move forward from it, then we're always going to be dealing with stuff in the future. And what I don't want people to be dealing with stuff in the future when we've already dealt with stuff in the past. So if we can move past our human element of, you know, that was really horrible, that's so bad that happened to me, blah, 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 and really try and move forward in our thinking to be able to embrace that level of creating our own future reality and really letting go of the past and learning the lessons that we're meant to learn. That's where not only do you release any kind of pain from the past and any association, creating a future reality, including that, but you then have the capability of creating whatever future you want. So this is where it's telling me that possibly in the past, if you're still dealing with issues, again, whatever the issue is, I'm very sorry that you're dealing with that, but know that it's actually the thing that's going to facilitate your massive change, and it's a good thing. So the first step is to looking at it as a good thing that's going to help you to move through. Now, one thing that I'm starting to do a lot of now, once we move past the message and the lesson and all that sort of thing, is start to experiment with all this kind of stuff. And we can experiment with bad stuff. We can, the bad stuff comes up, we can simply go into our experimental mode and start to work with it rather than letting it take us over. Now, there's so many different things you can use to move through this. I've just said a couple of them, but really, and I've written so many programs and run so many courses and taught so many processes around how you can heal things, move things, change things. It is actually unlimited, and I'm given new ways every day, and they're faster even still. So don't just know that you're never stuck. That number one, and also you're never alone, but there's also so much you can do. And it's when you start acknowledging that there is so much you can do and that you're ready to move through, message me, give me a call or whatever, and we'll work with it, because you don't need to struggle or suffer with it anymore. So use it as a way to bring out all your inner strength, all your inner power, all your inner knowledge. And that's where you will be given messages and signs during this journey that you're on that are helping you with that. But the thing is that we're just not trusting those messages and signs that are coming through. We think we're making it up. And our guides and our, the guides that we chose this life with, we chose this life path with our guides. They know that what we've got planned for this life, and they will put thoughts into your head which will help you along, but we resist them or we don't listen to them. And we really need to start listening to the things that our guides are telling us that we need to do, and we need to just act on them regardless of how fearful we are, how scared we are, because they know the bigger picture. Like, we've been given amnesia, so we don't know this bigger picture around what you're going through, but they know. So you really need to listen. I remember I was going through something tough a while ago, and I kept drawing cards, oracle cards, and I kept saying the same thing: hand over your worries to the angels and everything will be fine. And I'm like, it's not fine. But you know what? When I did hand it over, everything was fine. So we have to listen. We really have to listen, and we just have to start to trust all the things, energy, spirits, guides, people that we have around us to help us to move through. So I hope that's helped you. I really want you to turn this adversity or this stuff that you've been going through around into something that can empower you and bring out all the amazing achievements, all the amazing things and things that you've got inside of you that we all have. We are all magnificent beings underneath this body. We are all unlimited spirits. We are all limitless potential people, and Ascension has helped our bodies and the planet to come in contact with this level of limitless being. So don't think that you're stuck, because you never are. And once you start, so you've got an acknowledgement of this, so that's awesome and that's really exciting. It's now time for you to use it. So message me if you get stuck. But anyway, and if anyone else is stuck with anything, you can contact me through my website, which is either KimIbrinkJansen.com, or you can jump onto KimEFT.com. It's easier than Kim Ibrink Jansen. Okay, guys, have a great weekend and rest of your day. Jump onto my website if you want to check that out. Otherwise, I will see you next for Ask the Universe. See you soon. Bye.